This video is about the timeline of information produced by Transpower as the system operator to notify industry participants of potential supply shortfalls in the coming hours or months. These could be shortfalls of supply to meet the demand for energy plus instantaneous reserves, or shortfalls of supply to meet the demand for energy alone. If there is a shortfall in reserve supply and a generating unit or HVDC pole trips, there would be insufficient reserve to prevent automatic under-frequency load shedding, or AUFLs. The amount of load that trips will be either 16% or 32% of the total load, depending on the severity of the event and the size of the shortfall. There is an economic value associated with keeping that load connected, hence cost to society of disconnecting it. This cost is estimated to be in the tens of millions of dollars. Wholesale energy prices are also likely to be very high when there is a reserve shortfall in final pricing. For example, as of the time of this recording, the last time this occurred, prices were around $10,000 per megawatt hour. A worse situation occurs when there is a shortfall of supply to meet energy demand alone. In this case, it will be necessary for the system operator to shed load in steady state. Participants can help prevent a shortfall by, for example, making more generation plant or transmission equipment available, or reducing load. The remainder of this video looks at what information is provided at different time horizons and where that information can be found. NZGB stands for New Zealand Generation Balance. This information is provided from 6 months out, all the way up to the current day, but within the 1 week time frame, other information should be considered more reliable. The NZGB can be found on the NZGB website.
It starts with generation capacity and subtracts any generation on outage according to what has been entered in POCP, the Planned Outage Coordination Process, where asset owners, for example generators and the grid owner, can submit their intended outages.
It estimates the peak load for a given day based on the last year's data, looking at the same day the previous year and 2 weeks on either side and finding the peak during that time frame and adding 2%. NZGB gives the balance of generation compared to load for N-1 and N-1-G scenarios. N-1 is the capacity to meet energy and reserves, while N-1-G looks at the same capacity but after losing a generating unit. You can see the underlying information for a given day by clicking on the day in the graph. A report is also produced once a month that summarizes what is seen within NZGB, running additional scenarios if necessary, and explaining any changes from what was seen in the last report. This report can be found on the NZGB website, and participants will be emailed a Customer Advice Notice, or CAN, when a new report is produced. A CAN will also be provided the first time a shortfall is identified in NZGB. Assessments are produced within 2 to 4 weeks out from real time when there are unresolved security violations relating to a given outage. The assessment can be found against the outage in POCP. Potential security violations, including shortfalls, will be studied in more detail in the 2 to 4 week horizon. The assessment will be published when participant response can help mitigate the violation. The assessment will inform participants of the issue and what they can do to mitigate it. A CAN will also be sent whenever an assessment is published to POCP.